Hey friends, come on in, take your shoes off, have a seat, and consider staying a while by clicking that subscribe button. We are just waking up. This is Archie. He is very cuddly in the morning and wants to be picked up and held, so he's going to be in the video for a little bit. So I wanted to first just explain and apologize for not getting a video out to you yesterday. I've been working really hard to at least produce one video Monday through Friday, so every day, and then take the weekends as a break for me and to just do family time. But yesterday was quite busy. I've actually, in my private business that's not YouTube, have picked up a bunch of new clients, and so that's great because we did slow down because of COVID. And so I was super busy. I had like a ton of like video calls and phone calls yesterday, and I had realized it was like 1 o'clock and I hadn't eaten lunch, so I was like running to the kitchen. I warmed up my lunch and I heard my office phone ring. So I ran into my office and I was dumb and I didn't look where I was going, and our house is really small, so my office actually doubles as my husband's closet and our music room. And as much as I love my husband to death, he's just not very organized. That's why our house is always a mess. Well, me too, so I'm not an organized person, but I at least put my clothes in the hamper and he does not. And he had a pair of sweatpants on the floor, and I actually slipped on those sweatpants and my feet came completely out from underneath me, and the first thing to hit was my head and then my back, and then I had some cramping in my belly. So I am 6 months pregnant currently, so obviously that's very concerning. And I called my midwife and she wanted me to come into the hospital immediately to make sure that there was no damage to the baby, and just make sure that he is okay. So I went to the hospital and they put me on observation for like 4 hours. They made me go to the emergency room to check my neck because I am quite stiff and sore. I didn't really think anything was wrong with my neck. I just think it was because that's where I had fallen and it was stiff. I'm really stiff this morning. But luckily the baby is completely fine. He was kicking and moving around and had a really strong heartbeat. It was actually funny because when they hooked me up and put the monitor on, he kept trying to like kick the monitor off, and so I knew he was okay, and that made me feel really good because I just felt so dumb for not watching where I was going. And so yesterday just wasn't, it was not a good day. I'll share with you really quick his heartbeat, a video I took in the hospital of his very strong heartbeat. He is completely fine and I'm just relieved of that, but needless to say, I was in the hospital like all afternoon yesterday and I just didn't get a video filmed. I'm not one of those YouTubers who like films like beforehand. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I film the same day and upload the same day, so I just didn't have any content. So I just appreciate you all sticking around and just waiting for me to upload. So that all being said, having 4 hours in the hospital to just sit there and listen to my son's heartbeat, it gave me a lot of time to think. And it gave me a lot of time to think about everything that's going on with Russia and Ukraine and China, and of course this trial that's going on right now, and the unrest, and just the mess that America is turning into. And it really got me thinking about prepping, because as a prepper and as someone who, like, as 70% of the things that I watch is prepping, it's so easy to make your entire life about prepping, and it's so easy to constantly be in a state of not fear but just preparedness, and just making that your main concern and like your main goal in life. It's just so easy to get wrapped up in it. And we're actually going on a family vacation this weekend and into next week with my family, and me and my husband have thought several times, should we go? Is it safe right now? Do we really want to be on an airplane right now? You know, like, is like, what if this happens or what if that happens? And it really made me stop and think just how, I guess, fearful I've become. And I say that, like, I'm not living in like a constant state of fear, but I definitely am more fearful of the world. I think opening your eyes and actually paying attention to what's going on and actually realizing all the scenarios that could happen, it does make you a little stressed out. It does give you a little bit of anxiety. It just really made me realize, especially with being so scared that the baby was hurt yesterday, just how short life is and like how much things can change so quickly and how much we need to just appreciate each moment. And so we have made the decision to go on family vacation, which, by the way, we have not flown since the pandemic has happened. So I probably will make a video over that just to see kind of how the airport is and stuff. That's besides the point. But it really made me stop and made me think and remind me who's in control and how much over and over the Bible says to do not fear, for I am with you. You know, do not be afraid. I am your God. It says that over and over again in the Bible. And how much on this prepping journey that even though I do pray every day, we go to church every week, just how much I guess I've really taken God out of the equation. I think when you prep, a lot of the times, especially when you get a good stockpile going, you get good stuff. I mean, there's always stuff that you can add to it, but it almost makes you feel comfortable and it almost makes you feel in control. And for me, for several months now, I've been feeling really good. And I guess I prayed about other things, but I haven't prayed about really what's going on. And I'm ashamed to say that because that should be the first thing that I'm doing as a Christ follower, but I didn't. So again, it just really made me think that, you know, yes, it's okay to be prepared, but even more so, even though we have this big country of Russia and this big country of China bullying us right now, they are so small in comparison to God and his plan for us. I'm not naive enough to think that nothing will happen or that, you know, we'll be protected. I mean, there's been tons of Christ followers who have passed away in the name of Christ or in just their situations where it was just their time to go. And I think if it's your time to go, it's your time to go. And so, you know, I just think it's a good reminder that we can't be prepared for every situation. We can't be in control of every situation, and we just have to prepare with the resources and the time and the money that we have at that specific, you know, event, and then let it go and let God pray about it and just trust that he has the future. I mean, he even says, you know, I have a future, one to not harm you, but to prosper you in the Bible. They're kind of what was on my mind at the hospital yesterday. And I've been trying to figure out if I wanted to make like a full video on this or how I wanted to say this, but which is kind of funny because Archie's here this morning with me. But I've been thinking a lot about when the baby's born, wanting to stay home. And yes, my grant business is picking up, but it doesn't mean that I am running 40 hours a week on it yet. And so I was really trying to think of different ways to make income that I can stay from home and like make money from it, and possibly even one day my husband too. And so I was thinking about going to dog grooming school and learning how to groom dogs and board dogs, because that's something I could do once we have our homestead. That's something that there is a lot of money in it. There's not a lot of dog groomers in the area that we were looking to move in. And the one thing that was stopping me was that the dog grooming school is expensive. It would be about a fourth of our savings, which when you have a lot of money, that might not seem a lot, but like when you're young, like us, and you know, we've only been married for about 2.5 years, that is a lot of our savings. And it's scary. And I just kept thinking like, well, what if this happens, or what if that happens? What if the world does end? Then, you know, we should have put that money in preps and stuff like that. And after this event happened with me falling, and after me really like reminding myself that God is in control and he is bigger than anything that could be out there, as I was sitting in the hospital, I just really felt God talking to me and like telling me like I needed to trust that his plan is greater, and that I just needed to trust his plan for my life. And so I have made the decision. I went ahead and applied to the dog grooming school. I just heard back yesterday, actually, while I was at the hospital, that I did get accepted into it. And although the financing is pretty scary, they have like payment plans and that kind of thing. So I'm really excited. Obviously this would be the best for our family because it would give us more income eventually when we do move. I can even start now doing it on the side. But I just wanted to share that with you, that I'm starting yet another business on the side of it, and I'm just trusting in God and trusting that no matter what happens, He does have a future for us, and that regardless of like what's going on, we as in you and I, we all have to keep working towards a future. Like, yes, be prepared. Yes, keep things going. Keep your, keep stocking it to the rafters. Keep buying ammo, that kind of stuff. But at the same time, we can't stop living our lives because someone in the government decided that they control it now. We have to keep hoping and praying and trusting that God does have a plan for us, and that at the end of the day, He's in charge, and we need to keep putting our hope in Him and not in the world, not in our government, not in all these prepping scenarios. All right, well, that is it. I will get off of my soapbox for today. I just appreciate you all. I say this quite a lot, but I truly feel like you are a part of my family. You guys have always given me good tips, and it's just nice to be a part of a community that like understands, because not a lot of our friends are into this. Not a lot of our family is. And you can tell like a lot of them are still thinking we're crazy. So it's just nice to be a part of a community that gets it. And I just appreciate everything that you all do for this channel, being a part of it and sharing my videos and liking my videos. So that being said, please give this video a big thumbs up. It's free. It only takes a second and it helps my channel out. And me and Archie will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.